Not until I start talking. Here's the
We're
audience.
in the peanut gallery now.
Peanut gallery, if you will.
Gallery.
You tell me if it's on there. Dale.
See? I came with props.
Yeah, do you want to hit podium?
No, just right here. I'm just going to talk like this.
You are centered.
All right. My name is Zach Hedquist, doing my persuasive speech for Park University. The purpose of this speech is to persuade my audience why some Division I athletes should be paid from the NCAA. Right now they're not. And what I'm going to explain to you guys is how the revenue is made by the NCAA and why, like I said, some Division I athletes should be paid. Start off with, everybody knows millions of Americans watch and support college athletics, football, basketball. One of the biggest sporting events is March Madness. For that, the NC logo is broadcasted all over the United States, all over the world, retail stores, classifieds, internet, and everybody knows that they pay high dollar amounts just to get that logo. The NCAA is making ridiculous amounts of revenue from these college athletics. Like I said before, the two biggest contributors are going to be your late season bowl games for college and then March Madness, which I already talked about. The NCAA budgeted revenues from fiscal year 1988 and 89 was $82 million for the NCAA. That was 26 years ago. The problem is it was being talked about back then when I was 3 years old. The rules are getting more strict for the players, and the budget sharing or revenue sharing is remaining the same, but the revenue is drastically increasing. Okay, there's an issue right there. And like I mentioned, 26 years ago this was brought up. Fast forward to now, nothing is still being done about it. As an avid sports fan of college football and basketball, I see the money being spent every day. People around me, friends, coworkers, family. So I know how much money it actually costs when you go and buy a jersey, when you go and buy a signed football, anything that has any type of autograph on it. Today I'd like to share some information about how much money the NCAA is making off these athletic programs and why the athletes involved should be compensated in some form. Having a little construction, so don't mind the buzzing in the background. All right, let's start with some numbers from the NCAA. March Madness is the biggest revenue producer in tournament-style athletics. We're not talking about college, we're not talking about pro, we're not talking about Olympics, we're talking about all of them combined. That is the biggest revenue producer in tournament-style athletics. The NCAA recently signed a 14-year, $10.8 billion television agreement to broadcast all the games in the tournament for all 68 teams. A lot of people know if you follow the basketball tournament that is 68 teams, a single elimination tournament, and you have to pretty much earn your way there for your performance in the regular season. The Sweet 16, Elite 8, and Final Four gain the most popularity, obviously because there's more teams involved. Those are usually the better schools, the best schools that are left, and ticket prices, logo, trademarks, jerseys, and everything. That's where the money comes from. The problem is, I broke it down, it's $11.3 million per team per year for that television agreement. The NCAA is reaping the benefits of $11.3 million per team per year into that agreement, and none of the players are getting distributed any of the money. None of them. If they were, and if they got caught, they'd be strictly prohibited from playing any other games that season, let alone, who knows, maybe even more in their college career. According to a scholarly article by Tyson Harnett, the players are faced with this possible inspection if they get caught, while the top NCAA executives are getting over $1 million a year in salary. An athlete can't even earn $50 if they sign a few autographs. And I don't agree with that. I don't think it makes sense. They're earning the money, and these people are reaping the benefits. The issue at hand is that funds are being once again earned by one person and taken by another without redistribution at all, going back to them. NCAA calls themselves a non-profit organization, but at $1 million salary a year, I'd say they're for-profit. Now you know something about the value of the basketball tournament. Let's focus on the players. Salary is not the only option to compensate these players. You don't have to just pay them. You can talk about trust funds. You can talk about deferred payments, ability to have group licensees in their name and their face to be sold by them, by specific companies that have nothing to do with college athletics, with the university itself. It's people, Frosted Flakes, Pontiac, they want to sell their trademark, they want to sell their company, and put a person's face on their logo. And what does the NCAA have to do with that? Why do they get to say no? It shouldn't be up to them. For instance, Olympic athletes, they're amateurs. Yes, some professionals participate in the Olympics, but they're technically amateurs and they're allowed to be sponsored individually. About team insurance programs, they only last, we talked about torn ACL. What happens when the athlete gets injured? They get that one season to get team doctors, to get care, to get aid, the insurance program through the team. Well, congratulations, you're no longer an asset to us. You're not going to take us to the tournament, so we're going to dust you under. Your scholarship's gone. Good luck to the rest of your life. And that's it. So now we have these kids that earns millions of dollars for an NCAA profit organization, and all of a sudden they get hurt, and now they have to live the rest of their life with this injury and the cost of pain medication, doctors, rehabilitation, and they don't even have any support whatsoever from them. But they made their millions to the NCAA, so that's all that matters. Where are we at, Dale?
550.
Perfect. I guess the current rule that I stated out of the NCAA rule book is a violation that prevents student athletes from allowing their likeliness to be used for promotional purposes. And why is that? Why can't someone use themselves? I can use myself for promotional purposes, and I go to college. I earn a scholarship. I can do it. Why can't they? And we're not talking about thousands of dollars. We're talking millions and billions of dollars that they get used to earn revenue. It's no secret that the NCAA is reaping the benefits of efforts from the players. Yes, you can say it's from the coaches too, but we all know that the coaches get paid, and they get paid well, very well, millions of dollars in salary, especially for the big teams. The major tournaments and postseason events such as March Madness and the bowl games happen every year, and the money is being made every year, and the students move on and they get passed through and through the pipeline every year without anything. They're expected to go to the next level without anything, to start from scratch once again. I'll leave you with a story that to me kind of left me scratching my head, and it really doesn't make sense at all. A former wide receiver at Alabama, Tyrone Prothero, made a spectacular catch while playing for the university, and won the Play of the Year contest that was sponsored by Pontiac. NCAA university player, Pontiac. Way over here has nothing to do with any of this. They wanted to say, if someone does this, whoever does it, we choose, is going to get $100,000. He won it. Alabama received $100,000. The player received absolutely nothing because Big Brother said, no, you can't do that. The player made the catch. The player earned it. The player went through all the other competition and won. And he didn't get anything for it. With that, that's the conclusion of my speech. Thank you. Here's the audience. And I'm done.